Welcome, fellow mythology enthusiasts. You are watching In the Shadow of Myths. Throughout human history, the profound mysteries of life, death, and rebirth have captivated our collective imagination more than almost anything else. Why does the earth completely die off during certain seasons, only to miraculously burst back into vibrant life a few months later? To find the answer to this burning question, the people of ancient Mesopotamia didn't just look up at the stars or out toward unreachable realms. They found their truth in a deeply tragic tale of love, hubris, and betrayal. Today we are going to explore one of the most dramatic, deeply human, and nature-entwined figures of the entire Sumerian pantheon. We are talking about the Shepherd God, the very symbol of agricultural abundance and vegetation, Dumuzi, or as he is more widely known by his Akkadian name, Tammuz. If you are ready, let's step beyond the towering walls of the ancient city of Uruk and journey into the cradle of civilization, the lands where these timeless legends were born. The Shepherd God of Sumer, the origins of Dumuzi. In Sumerian mythology, Dumuzi initially emerges as a rather humble figure. He is the patron deity of flocks, shepherds, and the quiet pastoral life. In the harsh, unforgiving, and highly unpredictable climate of Mesopotamia, the survival of the people depended entirely on agriculture and animal husbandry. In this context, Dumuzi was the ultimate source of milk, cheese, wool, and everyday prosperity. He represented the joyous awakening of nature, the lush greening of the pastures, and the healthy multiplication of the herds. In ancient texts, he is frequently depicted holding a traditional shepherd's crook, a calming and protective presence watching over his flocks. However, Dumuzi is not just a simple shepherd. He is also the lord of vegetation and trees, sitting at the very center of nature's cyclical life. His presence breathes life-giving water into the Mesopotamian soil, while his absence heralds the arrival of scorching heat, drought, and famine. His evolution from a seemingly ordinary shepherd king to a fully realized divine figure is one of the most beautiful examples of how the Mesopotamian belief system sanctified nature and the vital resources that sustained human life. Prosperity and love, his marriage to Inanna. Dumuzi's story transforms from a pastoral poem into a true legend when his path crosses with Inanna, the most powerful and complex goddess of the Sumerians, who ruled over both love and war. Being chosen as Inanna's husband elevates Dumuzi to become one of the most significant figures in the entire pantheon. This union forms the bedrock of a monumental ritual known in the ancient world as the sacred marriage, or hieros gamos. The love between Inanna and Dumuzi is not merely the coupling of two deities. It represents the flawless harmony and unification of earth and sky, of feminine and masculine energies. Thanks to this sacred marriage, the land becomes fertile, the grain grows tall, and the rivers overflow their banks to nourish the fields. Numerous Sumerian clay tablets containing magnificent poetry filled with passion and romance about this love have survived to the present day. While Dumuzi solidifies his kingdom and status through Inanna's immense power and glory, the people of Mesopotamia enthusiastically celebrated this divine union every spring with spectacular festivals, essentially ensuring that their own harvest would be abundant and secure. Betrayal and the descent into the underworld, Inanna's revenge. However, this magnificent and fruitful love story is about to morph into one of the most shocking epics of betrayal and revenge in the history of mythology. The ambitious goddess Inanna, succumbing to her own hubris, embarks on a perilous journey to the Dark Realm, the land of no return, in an attempt to seize the throne of her sister Ereshkigal, the dreaded queen of the underworld. There, Inanna is trapped, stripped of her magical powers and turned into a lifeless corpse. Although she is eventually revived through the intervention of the other gods, the underworld has one absolute, unbreakable rule. Anyone who leaves it must provide a substitute to take their place. Inanna returns to the surface world accompanied by the Gala, terrifying demons of the underworld who are there to collect a replacement. As she searches for someone to take her place, she sees her loyal servants and fellow gods deeply mourning her absence, wearing sackcloth and covered in dust. Her heart softens, and she spares them. But when she arrives in her home city of Uruk, she finds her husband Dumuzi not mourning but dressed in his finest garments, sitting proudly on his throne and carrying on with his life as if nothing had happened. Infuriated by Dumuzi's blatant indifference and lack of grief, Inanna feels deeply betrayed and makes a ruthless decision. She points the demons toward Dumuzi and commands them to drag him down to the underworld. Despite Dumuzi's desperate attempts to escape, even pleading with the sun god Utu to help him disguise himself, he cannot escape this terrifying fate. A sister's sacrifice, Inanna, and the birth of the seasons. Dumuzi being dragged into the underworld triggers a cascade of disasters on Earth. With the departure of the shepherd god, the soil dries up, the crops wither, and the animals stop reproducing. A deadly, suffocating silence descends upon Mesopotamia. Unable to bear her brother being cruelly pulled into the dark abyss, Dumuzi's sister, Inanna, the goddess of vines and a skilled dream interpreter, sings devastating, heart-wrenching laments for him. Inanna's profound sorrow and epic willingness to sacrifice herself eventually soften even Inanna's hardened heart. Inanna offers to go to the underworld in her brother's place. Finally, a cosmic compromise is reached. For half the year, Dumuzi will remain in the underworld, and for the other half, his sister Inanna will descend into the dark realm to take his place. This immense sacrifice serves as the mythological explanation for the cycle of the seasons. The spring and early summer, when Dumuzi rises to the earth, is the period when nature awakens, waters flow abundantly, and fertility bursts forth. When he descends to the underworld, the scorching heat of late summer and the drought of autumn begin. Vegetation turns yellow and dies. For the people of Mesopotamia, the annual death and resurrection of nature is the physical manifestation of this cosmic changing of the god. Dumuzi, throughout history, Tammuz, and his cultural legacy. The Sumerian shepherd god Dumuzi lived on, eventually adopting the name Tammuz in Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian cultures. His legend left such a powerful, enduring impact that every year, during the sweltering days of midsummer, when the vegetation was scorched by the sun, women would perform ritualistic laments, lasting for weeks following Tammuz's descent into the underworld, weeping bitterly and mourning his loss. This mourning ritual was so deeply rooted and widespread across the region that even the Bible, in the book of Ezekiel, sorrowfully mentions women weeping for Tammuz at the north gate of the temple in Jerusalem. Furthermore, the month of July in several modern calendars takes its name directly from this ancient god of fertility. Dumuzi's motif as the dying and rising god profoundly influenced many subsequent cultures, serving as a direct inspiration for later mythological figures such as Adonis in Greek mythology and Attis in Phrygia. This story, carved into clay tablets thousands of years ago, is actually an immortal reflection of humanity's fragile connection with nature, its deep respect for the cycle of life, and its eternal hope for the coming of spring. A humble shepherd's rise to divinity, a passionately intense love, a staggering betrayal, and the endless, miraculous cycle of nature. The legend of Dumuzi is one of the most striking pieces of humanity's shared memory, echoing all the way from Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, to the present day. Every time nature fades and turns green again, it whispers to us that this ancient changing of the guard is still taking place. Today, in the shadow of myths, we trace the footsteps of Dumuzi, the shepherd of life, agriculture, and death. If this journey into the world of ancient mysteries and forgotten gods captured your interest, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to join us for more mythology-filled content. Until we meet again in the shadow of a new legend, take care and goodbye for now.